Hello, Reliving the Extreme listeners. Do you enjoy this podcast? Well, obviously you do because you're listening. If you enjoy this podcast and you shop on Amazon, why not wrap that all into one and give our podcast a little bit of support? All you have to do is when you want to shop on Amazon, instead of going to Amazon.com, go to www.tinyurl.com/extreme Amazon. By going there to do your Amazon shopping, you don't spend anything extra, and what it does is it throws a little commission our way here just to support the podcast. So, like I said, if you like to shop on Amazon and you are a fan of this podcast and want to throw us some support, we appreciate it. That is www.tinyurl.com/extreme Amazon. Now, let's relive the extreme.
This is the Sinister Minister, Father James Mitchell, and you are listening to Aaron, Nate, and Chad on the Reliving the Extreme podcast. Make sure you smash the like button and share, or you will burn in hell.
Reliving the Extreme.
My name is Bubba Ray Dudley.
I don't need a weapon. My hands are my weapons.
This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are going back. We have gone into 1994 in ECW. We are watching a special 90-minute edition of ECW television from January 18th, 1994. Nate Maxson here with you, along with ECW's Chad Austin.
All right.
Who is on this show, actually, and my brother Aaron.
I mean, maybe,
Hello.
Unless you blinked.
Aaron is on Twitter, is what he is on right now. As he was telling us before we went on the air, he has discovered Maddie in the House's Twitter page.
Yes, and it's not very exciting, except the fact that I found something that is supposedly some documentary somebody made about him on YouTube.
Was it 15 minutes?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Was it 15 minutes long?
8 minutes and 47 seconds.
He just yells,
I just posted the link on our Facebook, We Can't Wrestle, and I'm going to put it on the Reliving the Extreme.
That should really set us on fire.
Yeah.
That'll get us trending now.
That'll get us up to 106 people.
With Maddie following?
Yeah. Get Maddie's followers. Like I said, that'll get us up to 106 listeners and downloads. But we're good.
How many followers does Maddie have?
Oh, I'd have to look. I'll check again.
It's Sorry Not Sorry, the Maddie in the House story. One chapter. That's it. One chapter. Dork side of the ring.
Oh, boy.
He has 410 followers.
I don't. You're positive you think this is his account?
Yes.
All right. I'm
There's this
I'm
picture.
down.
There's this picture. Got a documentary about him.
So it's
And who would make a fake Maddie in the House Twitter page anyway?
I don't know.
Besides any one of us, and I know none of us did it.
It was Archie. Archie Mitchell.
It's right there with Denim Fritz. Yeah.
It's got extra at the end of it. It says credits, and then it just has one name, Archie.
Archie. Simply Archie.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, folks, January 18th, 1994, the version that we found on YouTube was still the WWE Network version. So none of if there were any Variety Club ads or anything, none of that will be talked about on this show because it's not there. But this was a special, like I said, 90-minute edition of ECW on Sports Channel. And we start the show off with a promo from Shane Douglas and Sherry, as our main event is going to be Shane Douglas versus Terry Funk for the ECW Championship. And then
I gotta tell you, that bothers me that the WWE cut out not so much the Variety Club stuff, but where they're running shows at. house show.
Right.
Because they used to, I mean, maybe it's my own selfish reasoning for it, but it helped me remember like where I was at and places and the guys that I have worked by being at certain places. But I don't understand why they cut that out. That wasn't like, it's not like this Friday they're really going to be in Jim Thorpe.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, and on Raw on the network, they'll show like, the World Tour de Force ads or whatever, and show where the WWF was going at that time. So yeah, I don't understand why they did that either. Or the Lee Marshall things on Nitro.
Oh, I mean, he's selling the tchotchkes.
Yeah.
Oh, they still show that shit?
Yeah, the 1-800-COLLECT deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Weasel Soup this week. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why they edit that stuff out, other than to just be pricks. They opened the show with a long ass video too. Like, I was like, man, this intro video is long as fuck.
Yeah, but it was new. Like, it had new stuff in it, and I think it was Paulie's way of showing, like, unfortunately, like the Sal Balomos of the world or whatever aren't around anymore, and this is the new guys that we're bringing in. Because I mean, it's got. Thought I wrote down who was all in it, but I must have not did that.
Well, it still had Road Warrior Hawk in it.
Yeah.
I think I still had the Tahitian Warrior. I think I saw the Wolfman getting a high cross body from somebody off the top.
Yeah, it was Tommy was in it. Jason, Pitbull, Taz, Tommy Cairo, Maddie in the house, Terry Funk, Public Enemy, Chad's in there.
The Rottens.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just Paulie's extended way of showing you, hey, shit's changing.
Times they are a changing, yeah.
Yeah.
We start the show off with Joey in the Eagles Nest.
Go
ahead,
good. I actually wrote that after I wrote after the Maddie thing, I'm going, why is he interrupting this? Like, why does he? And then I was like, okay. And then when they did the video, which I can only imagine what they played for their song.
Right, yeah, because for this we got the WWE thing, the damn it.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is like, I wrote, it's a very good long look at the roster and the future of ECW. So I guess we were all kind of right on, spot on with what their presentation was.
Joey's in the Eagles.
It was so long, it was probably a Meatloaf song. Right, what he played over.
I don't think it was a Meatloaf song.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
What's the matter?
Joey's in the Eagles Nest and narrating us to a 6-man tag team match, which is the ECW Tag Team Champions, Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac teaming with Johnny Hotbody, that's random, against Paul Diamond, Pat Tanaka, and Tommy Dreamer. But before the match starts, we have a promo from the ECW champion Terry Funk alongside his few good men. And he talks about this being his last stand. This is his last stand. ECW is his last stand of 15 last stands that Mr. Funk had.
Well, one of them few good men looked like he was completely lost. Like he wasn't sure if his car running or not. Like with the keys in it. Like Axel was sitting there staring at Terry like, that's right, man. You're the man. You're the man. And Ian was sitting there going, did I fucking lock my keys in the car?
Do I have any of those Fritos left?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Probably not.
Probably not. Did I leave that Fritos bag empty in the car?
Oh, shit.
Ian looks like he would use the bag to wipe his face.
Oh, God.
Wipe his face.
Crunch. All right. Terry also in this promo talks about his respect for Shane Douglas. And any notes, anything on this promo, guys, that you have?
Just that it was a straightforward promo, and he put Shane over and he put the company over. He did what he's supposed to do, and it was good Terry Funk. I mean, there's never bad Terry Funk, but he hadn't been playing it like crazy like he had the last couple weeks. This was grounded, sane Terry Funk.
I actually wrote that down. They've changed his tone and tenor over the past few weeks. When this whole thing with Sabu and Douglas and Funk first started, you couldn't really tell heel, babyface, et cetera, and they've slowly cast Terry as the face. They've had him tone down the crazy, and he's more into the elderly statesman Terry Funk.
Well, that's probably because if we're headed in towards the three-way dance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That Shane is the definitive heel. Sabu's going to be the wild card, you would think,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So Terry would have to be the anticipant of what Shane was, to be the middle guy, to be the other guy, while Sabu's the middle guy. So that's probably why he did that. I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, that's
Oh,
smart.
yeah.
Because it's an easier way to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
That if you have a heel babyface and a guy that you have no idea what the fuck he's going to do.
We go into the 6-man tag. I thought this match was too long. I have some.
This was fucking long, really long.
I have some notes on it, but yeah, my first thing. Well, I guess my last note or middle note of the thing is, it's the match is too long. It starts out very basic. At one point, Taz I think it's Paul Diamond with the timekeeper's hammer. But yeah, Aaron, go ahead.
This is just like probably the first time that Taz or Kevin Sullivan could say they were the bigger man on their team. I mean, that's
good God.
When they picked Johnny Hotbody, I was like, Jesus Christ, the Lollipop Guild's getting bigger.
No, for the sake of ink, I refer to him now as JHB. Because there's no chance I'm just going to write down Johnny Hotbody anytime he's on there. He's JHB from now on. He's like HBK.
We're moving on, Johnny Hotbody. We're moving on. You're now an abbreviation.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Diamond looked like Kane when he was in there with Johnny Hotbody.
I thought Paul Diamond actually had one of his better outings. Like,
oh yeah,
I saw him take a couple of decent bumps that I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Does he know something that Pat doesn't?
And he's flipping all over the goddamn place. It's a good. I mean, he did great in this match. I'm just saying, like, they were like, hey, who can we find that's shorter than Taz and who's shorter than Kevin? Oh, Johnny Hotbody over there on that shelf. Let's grab him.
He's on the shelf. Like he's an elf.
Yeah.
He's Hotbody on the shelf.
JHB on the shelf. Yeah.
Did you see at one point, I think when Taz gave him the head and arm Taz, his do-rag fell off. And that was the first thing that he grabbed. Instead of selling like the bump, he like grabbed his do-rag real quick. Because he got a big ball head sticking out.
Tony Rumble taught him that one.
I saw that and I'm like, he didn't even sell the bump. He just reached for his do-rag.
It's about the do-rag. It's like a Samson thing. Don't take my do-rag. I lose my strength.
Oh, yeah, that's how you lose your strength.
We get a long middle of this match where the heels keep not pinning Pat Tanaka, pulling him up, not doing the pin. And then the way that this ends, and I don't know if you guys have any other notes on it. I really don't. Sullivan and Taz are doing that weird gimmick on the outside with the facial covering thing. Yeah. And Johnny Hotbody winds up getting pinned, and then somehow it's his fault that he got pinned.
At the one point of the match, Taz slams Pat Tanaka. It's like towards the end, right before Taz gets out of the ring and starts doing that weird thing. Slams him so hard, fucking Pat Tanaka's back pocket turns inside out.
Wow, you noticed that?
Yeah, I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "God damn, he slammed."
Prescription, man, on your glasses that you noticed that.
I was like, "What is that?" And it's like his pants pockets poking out the back. It's like, what the fuck?
I thought that they got a decent pop for the hot tag, considering that it was Philly. And I was like, it got a small pop, right? But then imagine calling this a superplex. What Johnny Hotbody gave, I think it was Paul Diamond. Like, he actually went as low as he could for, when you're standing on the middle rope. Like, I'm like, there was barely even a regular suplex, much less a superplex, because you went, like, instead of picking the guy up and going back, you went down even further to get the guy over. Like, and when Joey Styles was like, a superplex, and I went, not so superplex.
Not a superplex.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I mean, that Johnny Hotbody actually thought that was going to be a good idea. Because I mean, if you go back and look at it now, you'll totally understand the way that I saw it. Mm-hmm. And like, he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't pick the guy up. He moved him over from the middle rope. What do I know? I don't know. I was only warming up.
Getting ready for your big segment coming up here soon.
Yeah.
After the match, Taz attacks Johnny Hotbody, and Sullivan and Taz do the beatdown on him.
Women kicked him in the balls.
I think we can all agree that this is we're approaching the end of the hot body era because he's still got to lose to me.
Mm.
Woman wore a leather outfit and kicked him in the balls. There were guys who probably paid $50 for that back in the day, and Hot Body got it for free. It's good for him.
That was his payoff.
Good God.
They show us some footage from Holiday Hell. Then we get a Shane Douglas hype video.
What do you think the song was?
Probably not Perfect Stranger yet, I'm assuming.
No, you know what? That was my first fucking guess. I think I was like, no, but it's not even 95 yet. So we haven't even got Malenko and Guerrero yet. So my guess is Simply the Best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I originally thought Perfect Stranger.
Now, here we go. Paulie is out speaking on behalf of his client, Sabu.
The handler.
Talking about the triple threat match that's coming up at what will become known as the night the line was crossed. And this Chad Austin guy shows up. And did you tell Paulie to shut up? Is that what I read?
I mean, he was just blabbing on and on and on about his man 911 and Sabu and all this other nonsense. And I was clearly looking to have a match. I was warmed up. You can see I was in phenomenal ring condition. And I literally said, "Can you shut your stinking mouth?"
Okay, yeah, all right.
I mean, but more importantly, what I want to know is, was I wearing a Big Johnson shirt? I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't think I ever owned one, like, ever in my life. I know I never bought one. There's no way I bought a Big Johnson shirt. And I'm looking at it going, I'm wearing a Big Johnson shirt. It's definitely a sign of the time. But it was up, down, end of story.
Yeah, Chad doesn't get to say much here to Mr. Dangerously.
I made my point, though, Nate.
Yes, you did. You sure did.
I asked him if he could just shut the hell up. I got my point across. And so did he. I mean, let's be honest. Did you see the second one?
Mm-hmm.
The second chokeslam? Wasn't quite as I didn't go down as gingerly as I did.
No, I was going to say the second one was a little rough.
Yeah. And believe me, after that became the norm, where every time I'd work with 911, it was, okay, the first one's going to be great. And then after that, it's like, oh, fuck.
Did he work before ECW anywhere?
I don't think he worked in ECW.
I was going to say he didn't work at ECW.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was an ICW guy, but I mean, if that holds any water, you know, a Savoldi dude. So, you know, somewhere up there, Tony Rumble-ish.
Yeah. Old Tony. Aaron, your comments on Chad's segment here?
Yeah, it's a Matt classic, and I enjoyed it.
So, was it a Big Johnson shit?
It was also history in the making. The first of many 911 choke slams to come in ECW.
Still better than a Snuka match.
I still got. Oh no, it totally was. I would totally put that on a resume before I put the Snuka match on there. I don't want anybody to see the Snuka match. My granddaughter, she loves watching me wrestling. And she's like, put on matches. And she's like, put on that match with you and Jimmy Snuka. I'm like, why? I want her to respect me. Look at me. I'm laying there. The guy pinned me with his foot on my chest. At least I stood up to Paulie.
Well, the segment itself served its purpose, and trying to get 911 over as a killer. I don't think they referred to him as 911 yet on the show.
No, they just kept calling him Sabu's handler.
Yep, Sabu's handler. That's right.
So now, Matty DeMatt, is that what his name is on Twitter, Aaron? Matty DeMatt?
Yeah, I mean, that's his real name. It's not his name on Twitter. It's, I guess, his real name. But, yeah, that's what they call him.
What a stupid name.
I don't know what the fuck the next part of this show was.
This was excruciating. And
they were recapping stuff that we've never even seen. Like,
yeah, well, okay, so here's the deal, folks. We got Matty in the house interviewing Jason, and on its premise, this segment should be effective because essentially what you're doing is you're showing highlights. Let's see, you're showing highlights from a match between Sandman and the Pitbull, right? And then
I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that you're the host of this show, and me and Aaron are allowed to say whatever the fuck we think about it. Because you're going to be way more generous about it than me and Aaron are, because I don't know what the fuck this was. This was I think I understand what they were trying to do, but the execution was pathetic. Like, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aaron,
when I watched it, like they started doing this stuff, and I'm like, hold up, I thought I was watching the wrong show because I was like, I haven't seen any of this stuff.
I felt like I should have paid $1.99 a minute the way Jason was talking over these clips. And here's my pit bull. And I was like, oh my God, should I be naked? I mean, hey, Jess, come here. I don't, like, what's going on? I had to take a bath after this clip. Jesus.
We have Jason and Maddie narrating first a match between the Pitbull and Sandman, and then a match between Tommy Cairo and the Pitbull, and then a tag team match of Sandman and Cairo against Rebel and Pitbull. And there are some details here, but
one of the guys lost.
He said, "This is my tag team. How do you like my tag team?" And then they're in their debut match, they lose.
Wow.
Well, as the segment's going on, Maddie and Joe and Jason are just saying words. Like Jason's like, my shoes. There's a ring. There's the Sandman. It's the worst. It's the worst fucking narration ever.
It was awful. I mean, just for me to write Jason promo, what the fuck is this? Speaks for, what is it? What the fuck? I kind of see what they want to do, but they spent way too much time not accomplishing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please, you couldn't move on faster for this.
Well, in the end, what it results in is, as Aaron said, Jason's new, how do you like my new team? Rockin' Rebel and the Pitbull. And then
At what point there was a bald guy in there. Did anybody pick up on that? Like, I wrote, like, who's the bald guy? Like, it was a guy behind Jason or something.
I missed him. Did you see
Yeah,
him?
I mean, I just wrote, like, who's the bald guy? Like, because it must have been, like, a spot show or something that they just inserted a clip of Jason with this guy. I guess he was managing, at a spot show. So you guys didn't catch him, so you don't know.
Nope. No. After the match, though, Mr. Hughes comes out, does a beat down on the Sandman, so apparently that's not over yet. And then
that's just beginning, actually.
And Sandman gets hung over the top rope by a chain, and now we're talking about a double dog collar match for the ECW at the ECW arena. And was that Angel out there? Was it?
Of course it was. Her hot ass mess of a fucking person. She had her big blonde wig on where she got stripped a few months ago from Gilbert, and she just couldn't fucking stay away. And I used the word fucking as literally. She couldn't fucking stay away because I think at this point she was with Jason.
Which makes sense, I guess, in the long run. After this nightmare of a segment, we'll just call it that, a nightmare of a segment.
It ends with Angel pulling Jason into the dressing room, and then Maddie saying, "I wouldn't go in there," when we all know he really would. He would go in there. He would go in there, sit in the corner and watch.
He would go in there if Paulie took him in there. Because I mean, I don't have any proof, or nor am I making any accusations at all about Paulie. But that Studio 54 nightlife, let's be honest, you end up doing things that you might regret. You know what I mean? and for Maddie to exchange like fame and whatever for that, maybe it was worth it for him.
And now he's got 400 followers on Twitter. He's living the dream.
You see what it got him?
Living the dream.
I can see Maddie cutting the Hard Times promo. Jesus.
Sorry, not sorry.
He's
all
so
right.
pathetic, dude. It's brutal how bad he is.
Can't wait for him to be gone. I don't think he lasts much longer.
No, he doesn't. Actually, I was shocked that he lasted past Holiday Hell.
Mm-hmm. We have now a promo. Shane Douglas and the Sensational Sherry getting hyped up for the match between.
How great is Sherry, man?
Oh, she's fantastic.
I love Sherry. And I swear, if she was still alive today, she would probably get a Christmas card from me every year. Like, that's how awesome Sherry. Like, and you know how whenever they always say, like, if you meet somebody and you become a friend, you're a friend for life.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry was that girl. You know, she must know a million people.
I was going to say one of those people that doesn't know a stranger, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when she meets you, it's almost like you're picking up on the last time that you were with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves her some Hollywood by the star, daddy. Oh boy, does she love some Hollywood, because Hollywood doesn't drink, so Hollywood can drive her while she's drinking, while she's on her 7th bottle of wine. Yeah, daddy. God, no, Sherry's the best. Yeah, man.
Definitely gone too soon and well missed in wrestling, because, yeah, like you said, she was. And imagine at this time in this promotion, they have Sherry and Woman in the same promotion at the same time. 2 of the best ever.
There's probably a chance that Sherry would have been at my wedding, or at least she would have been invited.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how close that we became, like, later on in life. Like, we talked all the time. I don't know how I got a hold of her. I mean, every time I talked to her, it sounded like she was already 4 bottles of wine in. But
her WWE Hall of Fame speech is one of my favorites.
Yes, it is. It's classic.
Yeah, it's like with Bischoff, she's like, "Oh damn, I thought you were gone."
She not only was she not scared to say whatever the fuck she wanted to say, she wasn't scared to back up whatever she said. If she talked shit about you, she'd be like, "Fuck you," like, that's what I think, you know. And it's like, oh, okay.
And you have to respect that for sure.
Right. You know, she was one of Playboy Buddy Rose's girls back in the day.
I did not know that. I mean, I knew they worked together. I knew she was the manager.
But that was AWA. But,
yeah.
I'm talking like when Buddy Rose worked for Vince in like 80, 82. Like, when Playboy Buddy Rose came out with the 2 girls that took off his robe and shit.
No, I did not know that.
Sherry was one of the girls.
The next match is long, but it's long on purpose, and it's good long. We have Terry Funk and Shane Douglas for the ECW Championship. Paul E is doing commentary with Joey on this one, which I think was good. You know, Joey, I like Joey solo. You know, obviously Joey is super effective as a solo commentator. But for a match of this length, to help get things over and help Joey needed somebody with him during this match.
And Joey and Paul are good together, and obviously, I mean, the last couple people we've heard Joey with, like, it was what was it, Tony Rumble. So obviously, whoever you hear him with next is going to be like
Todd Pettengill.
Yeah,
step up.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, I will let you start us off on this matchup. I have like a lot. I took a lot of detailed notes, I guess, of the match. So I have a lot of notes on the match. But obviously, I'm not just going to run down step by step, play by play, move by move.
Well, I don't really have a lot of notes on it, just because I was just watching it, and it starts out and it's got. I mean, I don't even know how long it goes into it, but the first thing is it ends with a count out. And then Terry Funk wants to restart the match, so then he restarts it, and then it's I just put in there that Shane's working Funk's arm for most of the match, and it's
slow down, because you're blowing through the match. I mean, I didn't have any idea that this show was going to be 90 minutes. You know, was there any announcement ahead of time? Like, was it advertised as such?
Yeah, right at the beginning, Joey did say, "Welcome to a special 90-minute edition of ECW."
I thought he said an extended version of ECW. I mean, maybe he did say it. Maybe I just caught it wrong. But I didn't know that it was going to be 90 minutes. And when I looked at the counter on the thing, and we were like 38 minutes in, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, well, this will be, 20 minutes. And I'm just like, wait a minute, why is Terry Funk working like it's a house show? You know what I mean? Like, he's working so slow, he's working so methodical, Yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm sure I was there. I just got up down. I was there, but I'm thinking like, why is he working like this? And then as I watched the counter go down, and then like what Aaron said, what was the first thing was what, a count out or something?
Yeah, they did a double count out finish, and then Funk did the I'm not satisfied with this, get back in the ring, let's restart the match. And I think that's when I can't remember. I think that's when Gordon comes down and they restart the match after the count out, because that first match, I guess, quote unquote, is only about maybe 8-9 minutes.
Yeah, it's nowhere near even if you watched it and like if it was an hour format, it was still around the 50 like 2-minute mark, so, like somewhere around there,
Yeah.
So you're just like, there's no way this is over. But that's after the fact. That's just nitpicking after the fact. Watching it in real time, you obviously don't know that.
The work in the match is really good. Essentially, they like Chad said, they worked a very methodical style match. With most of the match, as Aaron said, Shane Douglas working over Terry Funk's arm, and Terry would get some hope spots in there, or he'd get a headbutt, or he'd get a chop, or whatever, and then Douglas back to the arm. And I actually have a question that I wrote down that I wanted to ask you, Chad, watching this match. Which guy do you think led this? Do you think Terry led it, or do you think Shane led it, being the heel?
Terry.
Okay.
I think I think Shane knew the ultimate goal, but I think that Funk was the guy to implement the strategy. If that makes any sense. I mean, granted, I think they both work together. I'm sure that if Shane had his choice, the match would have been a much more fast-paced, especially in 1994, as young as Shane was.
Right.
He probably would have wanted to work a faster match, and Terry's like, we gotta go like 28 minutes.
I got no knees.
He's like, I want you to beat up my arm. Apparently, everybody wants to beat up my arm. Because in 1977, the Sheik tried to carve my arm off my body. Well, how come Terry Funk's the only guy whose arm? Oh, yeah. That's right. Dusty has once, I think. But other than that, Terry Funk, he must have some sort of a bionic punch that we don't know about. Everybody wants to.
And then Kerry Von Erich by accident.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bladed himself. All right. The match progresses. Sherry's doing her part in the match too, getting involved.
Killing the time.
Yeah. And she is, I mean, if you want to have now I guess the referee's the third person in the match, but if you want to have a third person physicality-wise in the match, as far as the manager goes, Sherry's definitely the one you want to have. Because she'll get in there and mix it up.
She'd be perfect for getting in, getting out. Because first off, she's a woman and she's noticeable and she's boisterous. Like if she's going to do a spot, say her only spot is to just jump in and kick you, she's going to yell. You know what I mean? When she climbs to the ropes and kick you, and then and then get out. So I mean, that's her knowing her. That's knowing her worth, knowing her role. That's perfect for her.
Her kicks and slaps are so amazing. Her whole body kicks you. Yeah, her whole body kicks you. Her whole body slaps you.
Yeah, they're real, especially her punches. Yeah, they're real. I've heard stories about how Stan Hansen is blind. I don't think Sherry was blind. I just think she took it as, I'm sorry, I just punched you square in the face, but I'm a woman. I thought you could have taken it, But I also don't want to get punched by Ronda Rousey. Sherry, what the fuck was that? Her slap. I think I lost a set of lips one time at a show because when she slapped me, I think I saw something flying into the crowd, and I grabbed my face like I lost my lips.
Slap the lip off your face.
And she never apologized. It wasn't like she said, "I'm sorry, Chatty Poo." It wasn't like she's like, "That bitch fucking beat the shit out of me." And that was the end of the story.
She was bad enough too, like where if like like in wrestling or whatever, like if somebody would hit like woman or Miss Elizabeth, you'd be like, "Oh, that guy just hit a woman. That's not right." But when Hulk Hogan or whoever would just beat up Sherry, you'd just be like,
"Yeah,
Yeah, she deserved it, you know.
Yeah, like Sherry was one step above the Brooklyn Brawler as far as beating people. Oh my God, he's beating up sensational Sherry. You know, it's not like it's a woman. Like, yeah, she's tougher than Barry O.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Lombardi. Yeah, she beat the piss out of Steve King and Charlie Brown back in the day.
I'm just saying, like that shows how badass she really was. You don't even think about it when she's getting beat up by these bigger guys.
She goes to the top rope for that slam so easily, right? I mean, how many times have you seen her do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or she's off for some reason she's on the top rope. I don't know. Like her guys in the middle, like getting in trouble, and all of a sudden there's Sherry on the top rope, and then the babyface throws her off, or when she gets picked up for a body slam, how she posts herself and spreads her legs out.
Yeah.
To show like, holy shit. And it's not like you're body slamming a broad. It's not like you're body slamming Elizabeth. You're body slamming Sherry.
One of the boys.
It's her getting her comeuppance, you know, because of all her devious shit that she's done. So yeah, you're right. It's you don't look at it like you're beating up a girl. You're beating up a fucking wench.
When Sherry gets beat up, that's not a sympathy spot. Let's put it that way.
She's not getting cards and letters mailed to Stamford, Connecticut, so they can put you on their mailing list for the catalog.
There's a point in the middle of this match where Shane Douglas hits Terry Funk with 2 pile drivers, and then Funk rolls to the outside. What I thought was funny about the spot, or I guess humorous about the spot to me, was Sherry gets involved with Terry on the outside, and then when Terry comes back into the ring, he literally whips a can at Sherry, like he threw a can, like it was like a beer can or something, or a pop can, and he just wailed it at her. Bam. The insanity of this, the 3 of these people make this look so realistic, because there's not a spot that looks, what do I want to say? It doesn't look choreographed. You know what I mean, guys? It looks like
didn't
a fight
work that way, man.
Yeah, that's why I love this, because it doesn't. It's not like a lot of the shit today. It doesn't look like it looks like a fight. It doesn't look like they're working together at all. But the beauty of it is they are, and they're doing it the way it should be done.
I mean, no offense to you guys, because I know you guys live in Ohio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't do this shit in Toledo.
No.
It wouldn't work in White Plains.
Mm-hmm.
You know? it had to be somewhere like Philadelphia, where Funk has free reign, where he knows that, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, from my opinion, is that he can go outside the ring and know that he's not going to get shanked. Nobody's going to take a cheap shot at him. People love him. That they'll get out of his way. They'll hand him, weapons. Blah blah blah, and he feels safe. And that's always seems to be the way Terry works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen Terry sit around. I can say I never know. I know I haven't seen it. I've never seen Terry sit around calling a match or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it. I've seen him walking with Sabu and Terry, the other Terry, telling Funk of things that he does, and then he's like, "You just tell me when you want to do them." You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just the way Terry works. That's the way. That's just the way that it is, and that to me is great, because it's totally him feeling the crowd.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it again, like I said, it because of that, because there's not a lot of,
it's special.
Right? Yes, exactly. It's special, and it's like more like a fight than a pro wrestling match, I guess.
Either that can.
Yeah.
I always hated. I mean, I still do, when they fight outside and somebody will grab a drink and throw it in somebody's face. I mean, I've offended so many women in my life that I've had numerous amounts of drinks thrown in my face. I've never went, ah!
I never sold it. Yeah, I never had to sell the Coke. Right?
I never had to wear like big white tape on my eyes for like 2 weeks, like I was Jimmy Valiant or something, like, or the Junkyard Dog, because some girl went out and went through a ice cold Coca-Cola in my face.
There was a lot of ice in that cup. Well,
I could see the ice hurting me. may have bruised my eyelids, but I mean, as far as doing damage to the internal eye, I don't think that beverages do that. I mean, I've had beer thrown in my face, nothing. You know what I mean? So I've always hated that when somebody's going around the crowd and when they smash like a beer can over somebody's head, fucking nothing. That's like getting hit with a cookie sheet.
Yeah.
It's tin.
It makes a lot of noise, but
hit it with a crutch.
There's a WCW pay-per-view.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone does that.
Yeah. That well, you saying the cookie sheet made me think of it, but they're using it's like one of those deals with Finley and Brian Knobbs and all all the hardcore shit they would do in the late '90s, and Knobbs is wearing out Fit Finley with this trash can, and Tony Schiavone says essentially to the effect of, trash can makes a lot of noise, but it doesn't really hurt that much. It's like, Jesus, Tony, you're killing the illusion here.
Does he work here?
Yeah.
I mean, because sometimes I'm not even sure he works for EW. When he does like an oh my, like when it's something that he should be selling, you know, like when it's a
my,
big, he just goes like oh my, and it's like no, I mean you should be selling it more like a I can't believe this, or you know what's going on here. He goes oh my.
Him and JR are just getting checks at this point. They might as well be working. They might as well be working for the DMV.
Dude, can you imagine the conversations with these two fucking guys in catering? Oh Jesus! Jim Ross is sitting there going, "What the fuck?" and he's like, "What the fuck? I got to do this again on Monday. You got to do it once a week." I got to do it like 3 times a week. Me and this guy with a sock on his fucking head.
I mean, you can just hear it, and you can hear it, and they're like, you think back to Monday Night Raw in 1998 or whatever, and Jim Ross yelling and screaming and getting you hyped up, and nowadays it's Wednesday. You know what that means?
You know what that means? God damn it!
I can sum it all up for you with a couple of Canadian destroyers. A whole bunch of people are going to jump on each other. And there's going to be a bunch of people outside the ring that are going to catch him.
And I'm going to commentate with my buddy Tony and this sock puppet over here.
But don't forget the fact that we're going to have a whole lot of people that pretend like they're going to cut promos. But as soon as they spit the first 2 words out of their mouth, somebody's going to come out. That's like Bischoff giving away Monday Night Raw result, like on Nitro. If at the beginning of AEW, Jim Ross goes, you know what that means? A lot of Canadian destroyers and promos are going to be interrupted.
No need to watch, folks. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to affect the rating anyway.
Yeah, Tony. Oh my!
It's not like anybody's watching it.
Well, getting back into our match here. Terry Funk cracks Sherry over the head with a chair. Like we were talking about earlier, Sherry is just one of the boys in the match because she can take it. We get a pile driver by Terry Funk to Douglas and then a neck breaker. They go back to the outside. They did a lot of walk and brawl in this, but you're trying to get 45 minutes because they're going ultimately, folks, to a 45-minute draw here.
I don't think it was 45 minutes. I think it was 30.
Yeah, it's 30.
Is that right? That's what I thought. Yeah. I thought that it was 30 minutes. But they made it 45 minutes for TV.
Back to my notes. This is when Gordon comes out because Shane wins again with his foot on the ropes. Paulie and Bad Breed has some shenanigans, and then Todd Gordon comes out and makes the match continue again. This is where we're getting to the end of the match. Paulie is choking Terry Funk. Bad Breed comes and chases Paulie off. However, now Sherry is choking Terry Funk. And the announcer or the ring announcer is calling down the time of the match. And
hint.
Yeah, hint. And that is where we go to essentially calling it a time limit draw. And this is setting the stage for what is going to become known as I said earlier, the night the line was crossed with a triple threat match between Douglas, Terry Funk, and Sabu. And, overall, guys, what did you think of this this matchup? I mean, I liked the match. Everybody did their job. It told a story.
Yeah, clearly on paper, the match was going to be good either way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but no, with the story behind it, the machine behind it, it had all the makings of really delivering to be something like special. I'm not exactly sure it was that special. I mean, maybe because I watched it at like 4:00 in the afternoon, and I didn't watch it like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't watch it like at night. You know, like I wasn't like all amped to watch it. But
Right.
yeah, it was very, very good. It told a great story. Everything was mechanically fine. Yeah, I thought I got to take Terry to task about an awful DDT he did on the floor. It was fucking, for lack of a better word, rotten. But yeah, I thought it was a tremendous match, and he did a great job of pacing it out.
And you didn't want to. Oh, go, Aaron. I didn't. Go ahead. What did you think?
I enjoyed it, and it was obviously a long match, but that's what it was designed to be. And it was on a show with a lot of other long segments that didn't need to be as long as what they would like. This didn't need to be a 90-minute fucking show. I can tell you that much. Like that
Well,
Jason
just imagine
thing.
if they would have done this for 90 minutes. If they would have started out saying, we're going to show you the whole entire Funk Douglas match is going to take up the entire show. Would that would have been better than watching JHB?
Yes.
I mean, exactly. Like if they would have stretched that match out and did a 45-minute where they could have edited it out to make for the 90-minute television, do you think that would have been a better television show than watching me get chokeslammed? I mean, come on. Besides that,
No, we need to keep that there.
yeah, they could have squeezed that in during it while they were trying to sell you some tchotchkes. Here's a number, the same number you can call for tickets, rumors, videotapes, and watch this guy get chokeslammed by this fucking dude.
The match, the pace and the tone of this match, I think that this was, what do I say? The way they did this match was deliberate because they knew what they were going to do on February 5th. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to give away too much of, I guess I don't want to use the word high spots, but this match was a slower pace and more of a brawl because you're going to interject Sabu into the next match, and the volume is going to get turned up.
But do you think that Paulie realized what the magic was? Like, I totally agree with you, Nate, by saying that that's why that match was deliberately booked so slow, because they were going to interject Sabu into it. But do you think Paulie had the vision of how magical it was going to be?
I think so. I think so. As he's putting his players in place, I think he's, Sabu, Funk, Douglas, just anybody that's working there now, as he's moving guys out and moving these guys up, I think he sees the magic he's got. And, I think by this point anyway, Paulie's going, okay, I'm onto something here. Because even at the beginning of the show, they say, they start off, I didn't even mention this, but they start off with ECW. It's not, what is it? It's not a secret anymore or something. I think they're they're onto something.
I still don't think that Paul knew that the three-way dance was going to turn out to be what the three-way dance turned out to be.
Okay.
I think that he thought that it was going to be cool because, I mean, I refresh my memory. What was the final payoff of that? That wasn't Shane throwing the belt down, was it?
No, that's at the NWA tournament.
Okay, well, what was the final payoff of the three-way dance?
Aaron, do you remember? I don't.
I think it was just Shane winning the belt, and then they did that. Didn't they do that thing afterwards in like that ballroom or whatever? Where he threw the belt in his
I was
face?
there at the hotel room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saw the other Rotten brother.
Yeah, and it's
like sitting there on the chair. When they, like, I remember we were all in the thing, and Paulie strategically just, put us where he wanted us. And there was Ian sitting in a chair, and the fight breaks out. And Ian didn't even get up. The camera zooms by, and he's sitting there.
Way to help out, Ian. Yeah. Well, guys, overall, I think that I gave this show a 3.5 out of 5 because of Terry and Shane Douglas. The rest of the show, that long ass 6-man tag, it had a few good moments, but not enough to be that long.
Yeah, it wasn't fundamentally fucked up. It just almost seemed like it served no purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was just because Paul, like maybe we were right. Maybe they should have just did Shane Funk the whole entire 90 minutes.
Then we would have
thrown me and 911 out there first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
that's a hot start, you know? I mean, you think about it.
Get the crowd hot. Watch this. Up, down.
And then we had the, like I said, the most terribly narrated segment in maybe pro wrestling history with Maddie and Jason just saying words over the Sandman Kai. But I think that the funny thing about that segment is all of that stuff wasn't that bad. It was the way that it was presented that was bad. You know, to me myself, I didn't find anything that was going on in the ring.
It was also a different time.
Mm-hmm.
To me, maybe it's like obviously all that stuff is filmed and they were going to spread it out. It seems like obviously they were going to spread it out over a couple weeks. And then Paul was probably like, I don't want to waste time on this, so let's just show everything all at once. So
we got 90 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to somehow squeeze JHB in. I mean, the JHB kid.
Aaron, did you give this episode a score?
I gave it a D. It was a one. It was a 2-segment show, like the Chad 911 classic, and then the main event. But other than that, it was just
gave it no stars. I think he said it was a dud.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck Dave Meltzer anyway.
Who did he ever beat?
Well, you're absolutely right. Who has he ever beat?
Besides himself.
Oh
and that room, Jesus Christ. So Chad, what overall did you think of this show?
Nate, you gave it a numerical score.
Yeah, I did a 3.5 out of 5 just because I was entertained by Terry and Shane enough to give it a higher score.
And then Aaron, you gave it a D.
Yeah,
you said, okay. Well, I'm going to go as high, and I'm going to be very, very positive this week. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 5.
Well, look at that! It overachieved.
I mean, the shows are definitely getting better. As you can tell.
This is no more Cabrini. No more Cabrini. Cabrini is very far.
Now I'm actually really starting to get kind of pissed off at the fact they didn't do the whole entire show, Douglas and Funk. Like, now that we just talked about it 30 years later, like, you know, now I'm like, why didn't they do that?
Why did they waste our fucking time? Yeah.
Why? I mean, remember how special it was, Sting and Flair on the Clash?
Yeah.
The whole, 60 minutes? You had no idea it was, they always go one fall 60 minutes and you go, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, like they're going to go 60 minutes. But, this special edition, 90-minute edition of ECW, we're going to have Terry Funk versus Shane Douglas. They could have did every finish in the book and restarted that match. Over the top rope, referee bump, another ref, the original ref wakes up. You know what I mean? Like, they could have just did everything just to get 90 minutes out of that. Now I'm pissed off they didn't do it.
I still contest you leave in the 911 segment.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly you got to do that. I mean, that's
but
how it starts.
You could have you could have done that to start off and then have your Terry Funk and Shane Douglas promos. You can have some promos leading up to the match, and now here's the match.
My problem was I was so young then because I wasn't even in the business 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if I would have known then what I know now, when 911 grabbed me and picked me up for that choke slam, I would have jumped higher and gave him a Hurricane Rana. And I would have looked like Angelico against fucking Christian from Friday night.
Hindsight's 2020, Mr. Austin.
Yeah. By any chance, did you see that the other night?
No, I didn't watch the whole show yet. I watched
the first match.
Oh, I must have skipped it then. But I was also very drunk when I was watching it. Like, the only thing I remember from AEW this week is how Arn Anderson's son, you definitely know it's Arn Anderson's son. The kid looks just like his dad.
Yeah, and he wears shorts that are too small for him.
He needs the little hat, the little trucker hat.
Like Arn did.
Jess even noticed the fact that his balls are about hanging out of them fucking ball shorts. She's like, look at that guy's fucking balls. I go, how can he? She goes, like, they're literally hanging out of his shorts and his little dockers. But Angelico, I had never seen. It was a classic example of what Jim Cornette says. You went all the way around your back to scratch your elbow. For him to put an arm bar on Christian must have took 45 seconds.
Jesus.
Because he grabbed his arm and he twisted it and he spun it around and he went behind him and he somehow sugared him, picked his other arm up, and I'm going, what the fuck? I mean,
just do the arm bar. Yeah, just do the arm bar. Jesus.
You already got the job, fucker. Stop trying to impress me.
Yeah, I thought Derek Huff was going to be involved in this, Dancing with the Stars. I was just like, this is brutal, man. But yeah, I thought the show was pretty bad, but it was way better bad than previous shows.
Definitely. Well, that being said, gents, anything we want to discuss before we let our listeners go for this week, Aaron?
Yep, just thanks for listening, supporting the show. Our viewership is doubled, apparently, so that's a good thing, and we appreciate it.
Ratings are up.
Yep, Senator Archie Mitchell. Got a good ring to it.
Anything you want to plug or anything, Chad?
No, I'm done.
All right.
after this weekend, I just had like, I don't want anybody to fucking call me, inquire about what I'm doing. Am I interested? Can you no? I don't want to show up. I don't want a free ticket. I am looking forward to the convention in October. Go ahead.
Yes.
You can put that over.
The We Can't Wrestle podcast, WrestleNet Radio, Reliving the Extreme. We are going to be on October 2nd this year doing our first wrestling convention. I danced around it for a couple of years before COVID hit, and then obviously COVID, and then there weren't a lot of conventions. But this year we are going to hit up Fort Wayne, Indiana on October 22nd, or on October 2nd, I'm sorry, for the Heroes and Legends of Wrestling event, which is a convention and an indie wrestling card all in one day.
I'm not on the show, am I?
No.
Oh,
well, they have a battle royal that anybody can enter.
There you go.
All right, Aaron. Anybody can enter. There you go. I mean, because you're not going to see me fucking do it.
We will be
Luke or Butch. I am not going over that top rope again.
We are going to be
maybe
there.
they can make it like the Iron Sheik at WrestleMania 17, where they knew he wouldn't go over, so they had to make him win. Make him win the whole thing.
Yeah, because I refused to just go over.
Fine, let him win it. We'll be there broadcasting, recording shows, and
cool.
having a good old time at the Heroes and Legends of Wrestling.
Coming, right?
Yes, we're excited. Very excited. I don't have it in front of me. I know Sullivan's going to be there, Aaron. Kevin Sullivan's going to be there.
Shit.
Yeah. He'll be at the kids' table.
Him and JHP and Taz. They got a play school table. They're sitting that signing autographs with crayons.
Sabu will be there. Duke the Dumpster.
More details to come as we get closer. But thank you all for joining us this week on Reliving the Extreme. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next time around. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxing Out Media. All rights reserved.